Thank you. That's not some weird thing on my rider that says I have to have that played every time I come onto stage. It's the Amens from a Welsh hymn, sung there by the National Youth Choir of Wales and about 80 members of the alumni of the last 40 years. The hymn is Tydi a Roddaist, was written by the Welsh composer Arwel Hughes with words by the poet T. Rowland Hughes, and it includes the line, "O cadw ni rhag colli'r hyd sydd heddiw'n crwydro drwy'r holl fyd." Keep us from losing the magic that travels the world today. The hymn is from a broadcast in the 1930s. It was written especially for a program that was to shine a light on the way the Depression was particularly hitting the people of Wales. The hymn was designed to close the program as a message of hope for those people that had gone through so much. And it urges us to see that magic is everywhere. The magic of the sunrise, the colours of the sunset, as you're all seeing that sun setting now, the greenery of our hedgerows. And it repeatedly talks of the magic of song. The song of the skylark, the song of the stream. And in the line, Na ir ein calon gan yn rhydd, let our hearts sing freely. It also issues a warning to us that magic can be lost if we take it for granted. So my question here tonight is, how important is song to us as a nation? And how prepared are we to lose the power of its magic? We are a land of song. That's not a marketing slogan. That's a truth that has run through our valleys, our homes, our chapels, our stadiums for generations. When our language and identity were under threat, it was song that helped keep our spirit alive. We didn't have armies, we didn't have empires, but we had voices. Now, we're not in the 1930s anymore. In fact, next year will mark the 100th anniversary of the devastating 6-month-long 1926 general strike, the angry summer, as the poet Idris Davies would go on to call it. But if you were to walk to any community in Wales, a community like Rhymney, where Idris Davies was from, you'll see that there's plenty of anger still there. Imagine, just know the anger that is with us all, the anger we see on our television screens every day in our world, and the all too easy, knee-jerk, dangerous reaction to blame the outsider. The people of 1926 needed hope, and they sure as hell need it now. I don't think it's possible to overstate the importance of our collective song. Our national anthem says in its second line that we are Gwlad Beirdd ac Chantorion. We're a land of poets and singers. Like Dylan Thomas, I thank God we're a musical nation. Our song has told the world and ourselves, Rini yma o hyd, we are still here. Now, at the risk of sounding like Maria Fontrap with a Valleys accent, I can honestly say that my whole life has been underscored by singing. I was born in the Rhymney Valley in New Tredegar, a community that still bears the scars of unemployment decades after the mines closed. I was born into a wonderful family, and song was always there. We sang around my grandmother's pianos. We sang in chapel. We sang in daily school assemblies. We sang in the days before car stereos. We sang on every journey to make it less interminable. We sang pop songs, folk songs, hymns, Sunday school songs, and the whole soundtrack of my dad's favorite film, The Jungle Book. Bus journeys were the same. Sunday school outings to Porthcawl or Barry with the whole bus singing there and all the way back. The school bus journeys were similar, but the songs were decidedly less wholesome in nature. Without the magic of song, I would not be standing here talking to you tonight. Music has utterly transformed my life and made me able to stand here in the seat of our nation's government and address you all. I went from being a painfully shy, bullied little boy because of the utterly transformative power of music, the magic of music. The people I've met, how much of this wonderful world I've seen, the stages I've performed on, the artists I've performed with, have all been because of the music I've made. Now, I know I've been incredibly blessed, and I don't say any of this to brag. I just say it to show the difference that music has made in my life, how it has enabled me to go beyond, way beyond what I thought I was capable of, or what anyone else thought I was capable of. And music has done that for generations of Welsh musicians before me. And it is absolutely important to me that we make sure that those opportunities are there for the generations to come. Now, I've made music my profession, and I'm not suggesting for a moment that anyone should or could do this. But I do believe that Wales is a far lesser place without its music, the land without its song. And our confidence to use our voice has enabled us to be heard, even though there have been many times in our history and today when we are not seen. Think of the oratory skills of those great political voices, David Lloyd George, Aneurin Bevan, Michael Foot, Neil Kinnock, Dafydd Ellis Thomas, standing up for the plight of the working Welsh woman and man. Think of the written voices of R.S. Thomas, Dylan Thomas, Saunders Lewis, Owen Shears, Mererid Hopwood, Ruth Jones, using 2 languages to tell one story, our story. The liquid black spoken voice of Richard Burton, or the hilarious cut glass of Gladys Pugh from Ruth Madoc. Composers like Joseph Parry, like Ivan Novello, like Carl Jenkins, like Paul Miller, William Matthias, Alan Hoddenott, that have written the score to our nation. Those who've told our story through folk song or comedy songs, Ryan Davies, Max Boyce, Mary Hopkin, Patrick Rhymes. And the operatic heavyweights this country has produced, from Sir Geraint Evans, Dame Margaret Price, Dame Gwyneth Jones, Dennis O'Neill, Stuart Burrows, Rebecca Evans, Sir Bryn Terfel, to the icons of popular culture, Tom Jones, Shirley Bassey, Bonnie Tyler, Stereophonics, Manic Street Preachers. I could go on and on and on. And this is incredible for a nation with a population of just over 3 million. But the reason I am so obsessed with a musical mission and the way that I am possessed with trying to encourage as many people to sing as possible is because decades of undervaluing the arts in Wales has led to devastating cuts in services for the power of the arts. Anyone attending a Wales Six Nations match in recent years must have noticed that the singing has got less frequent and less confident. I hate to say this here, but a certain low-swinging chariot is gaining a lot more power than Cwm Rhondda or hymns and arias. I am now incredibly proud to be the Director of Music at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, and I see the magic of making art in our students on a daily basis. For some of our students, they find their magic in song. For our instrumentalists, it's the way they put bow to string or breath to brass to conjure sound from otherwise inanimate objects. The way our composers conjure music from their imaginations by putting black dots onto white paper to turn that into melody and harmony. But there is an existential threat in the air. And I ask the question again, how important is our song to us as a nation, and how prepared are we to lose the power of its magic? We are having to make very difficult choices at Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama to ensure that we can keep inspiring future generations of artists. The very public funding crisis at Welsh National Opera rumbles on. The threat to my old alma mater, the School of Music at Cardiff University, it has been there. Now, you might be thinking, what the hell is he going on about? Wars are being waged. People can't afford to heat their homes or feed their families. What difference can art make? Well, I believe very firmly that art can make an enormous difference. Art has the power to remind us of the beauty that is all around us in this world. Look at that backdrop there. It has the power to say, with all this beauty, why on earth would we want to destroy it? Art has the power to hold up a mirror to injustice and to force us to confront the most difficult of truths. Art has the power to enhance and transform because art is magic. Whether that's listening to the radio in your car, whether that's playing with your local brass band or singing with a local choir, or whether that's pursuing a path to study music as a career, art is magic. I see the positive effects of making art on a daily basis at RWCMD. Now, singing releases exactly the same endorphins as chocolate and sex. So what's not to like? I encourage you all to do it. So please, if there are any policymakers or politicians here tonight, can I remind you of the difference art has made to our nation for generations and of the power for it to do that for generations to come. To any philanthropists or people with deep pockets here tonight, can I urge you to consider supporting a local project or a community or even a national conservatoire so that art can continue to transform lives? And to everyone here, I just want to close by using the words of our patron saint, Dewi Sant, Saint David. Gwneud y pethau bychan. Do the small things. So, one of those small things could be going to a local gig. One of those small things could be chucking a couple of quid in a busker's hat. It could be getting that guitar down from your loft. It could be singing. With a bit of Dutch courage at a karaoke, sing and make your voices heard. At a friend's wedding or at a family funeral, sing and make your voices heard. Because if we all raise our voices, if each one of us raises our voices, eventually the person next to us will raise theirs. It might start as a whisper, but with us all coming together, we can make a big and beautiful choir. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you.